Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. The S&P 500 was down 0.75% today. I think what's important today is that we actually went right back down to the lows for the year that were established on September 30th. And we did bounce off of that. So that's a good sign, at least in the very short term here. Although we have kind of hit some lows in mid-June, broke through those a little bit, at the end of September. And the more you hit those lows, the more that support kind of erodes. So we'll see what happens here as far as that goes, looking at things over this week. There's some very important things coming up here in the near term, and that is really just that the earnings are going to start to be reported. Fridays when we start to hear from some of the big banks, for example. And as we go through this process, it'll be very interesting to see under these, macroeconomic environment, what's happening to current earnings for the quarter. But maybe much more important, I think the market's going to be looking at what is said about expectations for future quarter and, how much we're getting right down because we've heard from companies like Nike and Nvidia, Federal Express, and et cetera. And they've come out and kind of warned about missing, like AMD did last week about missing revenues and missing different things that they see happening. So I think there's going to be a kind of a mentality of sort of writing down what might be coming our way in terms of earnings for the future quarter. And I don't know that the market has fully factored that in yet. And that's probably what's kind of driving this market to the downside right now is just this, concern about what will happen with earnings. Now, having said that, we've often seen the market drop before earnings, and then the earnings end up surprising to the upside. Maybe not true this time, but certainly something to be aware of as far as that goes. So the fact that we're going down here prior to earnings, maybe people are just taking some risk off the table because they just want to get through this and see what happens. But that's kind of what I see happening right now altogether. Again, we have our inverse positions, which were up today, which is good. And we have our T-bills and ultra short-term bonds, which are designed to, just kind of float along here for the most part and not participate in some of these big downturns that are happening. So we're in a good spot for these types of markets. We're in a good spot if this market does fall through that low and starts to cascade to the downside pretty quickly. We'll be ready for that too. So nonetheless, look forward to seeing you tomorrow and we'll talk about what's happening then. Thank you very much.